So for our first movement and yoga session online on the video, I thought we can just do a very simple practice and very easy to begin, and focusing on the nervous system. So I have this chart here, hope you can see it. So as we've discussed before in other classes, we know that the nerves stem from the spine in bundles all the way down to the tailbone and wrap round the front of the body into different organs and muscles. So thinking of the nervous system wrapping from the spine round to the rest of the body at the front, and by activating our parasympathetic nervous system will hopefully give us a sense of calm, easing the belly, calming the mind, and still being able to breathe naturally, so we can keep the lungs nice and clear and healthy and boost our immune system. So just to begin, take a seat anywhere. You can sit on a chair, or if you want to sit on a bolster, or if you feel happy to stand up or even lie down. So just getting really comfortable, maybe rearranging your pelvis so you can feel the sitting bones and your spine as well. Want to make sure the shoulder blades and the scapula can slide down the ribs at the back, so there's plenty of room between the shoulders and the head. That's great. And just having a natural breath. Lovely. So you can keep your eyes closed or open, completely up to you. As I'm just going to read this from one of my lovely books that I bring sometimes, Body Space Image. So just taking a moment to get comfortable and rearrange your spine, either sitting, standing or lying. The spine is a long limb, spacing head, rib cage, pelvis, from the tip of the coccyx up to the base of the skull, between the ears, a long spine falling up. In the spine, one curve levers the other. The curve of the lumbar rises into the curve of the thorax. The curve of the neck rises up into the head. See the curves of the spine lengthening upwards and downwards. Allow the rest of the body to balance around a curving river of spine. So if you have your eyes closed, if you gently open them, just going to show you this wonderful image of the spine. So all the nervous system stems from the spine and wraps around the front of the body. Great. So let's keep that image in mind throughout the whole session today. Just put that to one side. Great. So wherever you are, I think I'm going to lie down. Get comfortable. If you can't lie down or find a space on the floor, even sitting on a chair is completely fine, or sitting on the floor. So I'm just going to lie down. I'm going to put a bolster under my knees, or you can roll up a cushion. Just move those out of the way. I'm just going to lie very comfortably on my spine, getting really comfortable. Nothing to do apart from lie down. Let the head relax into the floor. Let the shoulder blades melt into the ground so the rib cage can open up towards the ceiling for the lungs to really expand and inhale. And then on the exhale, everything can melt to the ground. Making sure the lower back is nice and released, so there's nothing held. So if you have a slight gap, that's totally fine. Don't have to press the spine into the floor. and having the hips comfortable on the ground as well. If you need to, you can press your feet into the floor and lift the pelvis up a little bit to rearrange the lower spine. And the feet, you can have your legs long or use a bolster, or feet flat on the floor and knees bent towards the ceiling. So just take a few breaths here, just noticing how you feel right now. And even sitting, just checking in. Where does your weight sit in your body? How are your feet placed on the floor? Are they spread into the ground? Can your breath drop to your sitting bones and to your heels in your feet? And from here, I'm just going to keep my elbows on the floor and place my hands on my upper chest, where the lungs start at the top. And in Chinese medicine, we have lung 1. It's the start of the meridian or the lung channel out to the arms. So we're just going to place the hands here. And on an inhale, we're going to breathe in and fill that part of the rib cage up. Pause for a second and then exhale and let all the rib cage melt down to the ground, and the hands can just follow the movement. Let's do that twice more. So breathing in, filling the space underneath your hands. Pause slightly on the turn of the breath and exhale. The hands can go for a ride on the rib cage at the top. Once more, breathing in. Breathing out, everything melts down into the ground. Then let's just move our hands to the lower ribs. So I'm keeping my elbows on the floor. If you're sitting, just placing your hands on the lower ribs and let the elbows drop so you're not holding the arms out in the air, so they can drop by your side. So breathing in, filling the lower lungs and ribs. Let the hands feel the huge space underneath them. Pausing at the top of the breath, and then exhaling, everything drops towards the floor, everything melts to the ground. And again, twice more. Inhaling, let all the ribs fill underneath your hands. Pausing at the top, and exhale, everything melts down through the spine into the ground. Vertebrae nice and long, unfurling onto the ground. Once more, inhaling, filling that space underneath your hands and into the lower lungs, and then exhaling, everything drops towards the ground. And let's move our hands to our belly, anywhere around the belly button or just below, like the dantian as well. Having the shoulder blades melt into the ground, making sure the head and neck are released as well. How's your pelvis doing? Just have a check in, and relaxing the elbows and arms, even if you're sitting. And again, 3 in breaths into the belly, fill that space underneath your hands on an inhale, and at the top, pause. And then exhale, everything drops down, the belly button drops towards the spine melts into the ground. And again, breathing in, filling the belly, let the space underneath your hands expand. Pausing at the top, and then on an out breath, everything falls away, spine releases into the ground. Lovely. Once more, so breathing in, filling the space underneath your hands, and then pausing at the top, and on an out breath, the belly button gently drops towards the spine melts to the ground. And then take a natural breath again. So you can release the arms to the floor, or you can keep them on the belly, whatever's comfortable. Making sure the head and the neck are still released and relaxing on the ground. And just take a few normal, natural breaths. making sure you're comfortable on the ground or sitting in the chair, making sure you're comfortable. And then from here, very, very gently rolling onto one side. So I'm going to move my bolster out the way. That's great. I'm going to lie on one side, so take your time to get comfortable onto one side.